We are your hosts. I'm Tino, and this is Dr. Tuffy. And today we have Mr. Simba with us from Drill for Life, who is going to tell us more about how he's helping communities in Zimbabwe by providing water resources. So if you don't mind, Simba, if you can go ahead and introduce yourself some more, and we'll go from there.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Tino, and thank you, Doctor, for inviting me. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I came to eat here at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I said, let me let me go ahead and knock this out. But my name is Simba. Obviously I'm from Zimbabwe. I have been living here in America for 22 years or so, and now I'm trying to figure out. Do you want me to just go ahead and talk about Drill for Life, or just talk about me first?
We want to know about you first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I live in Columbus, Ohio. I've been living in Columbus, Ohio since 2009, and this is where we have the headquarters or the board members of Drill for Life. I go to Zimbabwe probably once every year, to look at some projects for Drill for Life. So I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for having. We're glad to have you. So how did Drill for Life begin?
Well, that's a loaded question.
Well, what is Drill for Life first? I guess we need what for those that don't know what it is first.
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so Drill for Life is an organization that is geared to eliminate waterborne diseases, provide clean water to the people of sub-Saharan Africa. We are not just focusing in Zimbabwe or focusing on sub-Saharan. So Drill for Life is focusing on making sure that everyone has access to that one thing that every one of us need, which is a human right, water, clean water, which I grew up without having clean water in the rural areas of Zimbabwe. And so that is what Drill for Life, its mission is, eliminating the diseases that are caused by waterborne, by providing clean water to the people that don't have access to clean water.
Oh.
So then I go to your question, Tino. You asked, how did it start, right? It is actually a very complex, if you will, complex story, how we started Drill for Life. But when I came to this country, I lived in this country for 10 years without going back to Zimbabwe. Now, when I ended up going back to Zimbabwe, I realized that the lifestyle that I used to live when I lived in the rural areas, the water that I used to heading cattle, the water that I used to drink when I was going to school, which everyone else was drinking in the villages, was not normal. And I realized that there was someone that I had met here in Columbus, and she had asked me, what can I do to help? Anything that you need, let me know. In fact, I used to send drums of used clothes back home. And so when she said, I can also help you with sending drums back home, I said, okay, no problem. I'll let you know how much that is going to cost. Now, when I went to Zimbabwe and I realized and I remembered what she had asked me, I said, I don't need to continue. I don't need their help in sending the drums to Zimbabwe. What I need is I need her to help me with providing clean water to my people. So initially, it was only about my village. I was just concerned about my village. You see how selfish I am. I said to my mom, I know this is not good, because I participated in going to the riverbank and we walked 7 miles. I counted 7 miles to go get water. And it was a big hole in the sand. In fact, some people had died because the sand had kept in, right? know, people had died trying to dig following the level of the water that was going down. So I took pictures. I took pictures, and I was taking every moment of it. And I came back and I said to my mom before I left, I say, Mom, I need to drill a clean water well, which is a borehole. I need to provide clean water to everyone here in these villages. So when I came back, I told my my friend, her name is Stacy. I said, Stacy, don't worry about the used clothes that I sent to Zimbabwe. There's something special I need from you. And she said, what is it? She said, I said, I need to provide clean water to my people. And she said, what do you mean? I explained to her because she had no idea. And I showed her some pictures. I showed her some videos. And she said, okay, how about we start on that? Let's go ahead and raise funds and to provide this clean water. And we raised funds just like that. We raised 8,000 just like that. And,
wow.
and we went back, we drilled that clean water well. Now, right after that, we realized that it was not enough. And I said to Stacy, why should we stop? We need more clean water for the people. And so we started figuring out how can we be able to provide more clean water wells. And we approached a couple of churches that were already doing projects in Zimbabwe. And then we also were connected with another organization that is in Zimbabwe that also does clean water wells. But what we realized was we were not going to be involved in the politics, because what was happening is some of the organizations were being directed by someone in politics to tell them where to drill the clean water well or the bore. So then we realized what we need to do is to actually start our own non-profit organization. So in early 2014, we registered our Drill for Life as a 501c3 organization. That's how we started.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is a loaded. That is very loaded.
I told you it's a loaded question. And more of this information is actually found on our website, drillforlife.com.
Right. But, like you said, charity begins at home. So it wasn't selfish for you to want, better for your people first, because, charity begins at home. So that wasn't selfish at all of you. And for you to extend it to, beyond Zimbabwe is absolutely incredible. And I'm interested to know, who else is involved besides Stacy? Who else do you work with to make people's lives better?
Thank you for that question. So, when you register a 501c3, there are some requirements that you are actually required to do. So we had to provide an extensive number of resumes, right? So that we can create a board. There is a minimum requirement of the board members that you need to have. So most of the board members that we started with, they were actually they are no longer with us. Some of them, but right now we have a board membership of eight wonderful people that are volunteering their time. None of the board members get paid. All of them they work behind the scenes, and they actually do a wonderful job in trying to figure out how can we expand the organization and how do we work on our strategic plan. We bring in some of the well-educated people that can teach us about how to run a non-profit organization. So we are 8 here in the States. And we have 2 people on the ground in Zimbabwe that help us with the runarounds of the organization. When we want a well to be verified, when we want a site to be verified, communication with the contractors, they run around to make sure that everything is actually being done well. So we have 8 board members and we have 2 people in the on the ground that are helping us.
Wow. It seems like you guys have really put it well in the last few years. It's really well organized. And that's exactly what we need. People who are truthful, people who are honest, and people who are genuinely willing to help.
Absolutely.
So in doing all of that, obviously you have to take trips to Zim or wherever it is that you're providing the resources to. How do you go about with getting funding and getting donations, and who covers those flights and the accommodation? How does that all work out?
Thank you, Tino, for a great question. Listen, I love my country. You know, I love my country. And when I go, I have two goals in my mind. The number one goal is I want to go see my family. You know, I am second last out of 12 kids. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my.
Yes. So, and I am the only one in the States, right?
Wow.
So I have nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters, and everybody, whoever you can name, right? Uncles and everybody. So that's my number one goal. I want to go see my family. Then the number 2 goal is, how are the projects going? I want to go and see and talk to the villagers. And you know, when I go to those villages and talk to the villagers, they actually want to make me a member of parliament. I say, no, that's what I want is for you to have clean water, you know? Now, when you actually see them and talk to them and see the site where the bore is or where the water well is, it almost feels like it is a small city, like that's the new mall of the village, because this is where the people are now hanging out.
Right.
Because it's not just about clean water. It's about everything else that comes with water. The gardening, right? The washing of clothes, right? The animals. It's everything. It's almost like a small little thing. There's the one thing that they always have been hoping for, especially when it comes to the summer. They don't have anything else to do, right? So the only thing they do during summer is to hang around where the bore is and really make sure that their seeds for the tobacco is being irrigated, and then the vegetables and everything else, right? Now, one thing that we also do as an organization is we provide the toilets for them. We provide the sinks for them to wash their clothes. So it's not just easy, because it's not easy to fundraise, right? But it's important for us to make sure that wherever they gather, they have somewhere to go and throw away their waste. There's somewhere they can be able to go and wash their clothes. So we provide all of that as an organization. Did I answer your question?
So in providing all of that as an organization, where are you getting the money from?
Oh, there we go. That was the one I missed. I apologize. I get excited. I'm sorry, I get excited. So we fundraise. We have a few ways that we fundraise. Number one, we fundraise online, right? If someone wants to donate, they go to our Facebook page, and they can do monthly donations. They can do one-time donations, because the website allows you to donate if you want to. So that is our number one. We allow people to go and donate on Facebook and on our website. Right. And then number two, we do 2 to 3 events, fundraising events every year. 2 to 3 fundraising events. The number one event that we do, the first event of the year we do, is a golf tournament. Right? So we gather, we plan the event, and people would come to play golf. Now, most 10,000. Okay. for during the golf tournament. Then the second event we do is we do a barbecue. Our barbecue is always in August, and guess who cooks?
You do.
Now, most of the time we have probably between 200, maybe 150 to 200 people that come to that event. These fans, now I can't say that I'm the only one who cooks, because we have a lot of volunteers, and we have a homemade chef that actually comes to help us. Okay.
Wow.
Yes. And so that is our second event. Usually on that event we raise between 6,000 to 10,000, right?
Okay.
Now our last event, which we are actually starting this year, we are going to do a 5K run. And all of you are invited. Please come and join us. We are going to do our 5K run. It's called Run for Water, Run for Clean Water.
Where?
And we are going to give you jugs or what you call them? We're going to give you jugs or with
gallons.
Gallons, thank you. We're going to give you gallons where you can carry water and run with it.
You're asking for a lot. You want us to run for carrying water? Oh, Jesus.
Now, listen.
Come and do it. We will do it for you.
You don't have to. You don't have to get in the gallon, but you can walk with it. We can run with it. And the idea we want to make sure we portray is this is how someone is living
yeah.
by going to get water from an open well, from the riverbank, from anywhere. Water
Wow.
is life, and we
That's
have
powerful.
to make sure we give our people clean water.
But where is this 5K held?
It's going to be October 21st at High Banks. It's called High Banks Park here in Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. And everyone is welcome. Please, we'll treat you nice.
We will do our best to show up.
Yes. And more information is found on our website, drillforlife.com.
Okay. And we'll also, if you send us the flyer or the poster, we can always post that for you and put all the information at the bottom. You mentioned that you're also providing sinks.
Yes.
Can you tell us how much one sink costs?
So that's a great question, actually. So one thing that we try to do is we give our villagers the power to manage their borehole and everything that is around it, right? So what we only do is we ask the villagers, do you want sinks? Do you want toilets? Give us a quotation, right? So when they give us a quotation, we say, okay, we are going to buy you the materials. You build the sink yourselves. You build the toilets yourselves. So they can do it. They're talented, right?
Yes,
they're
that is
talented. They can do it. So it can cost, usually it's between sink and toilets, that can be up to 2,000, 2,500. And that can provide one toilet for the females and one toilet for the males.
Wow.
And they can put sinks, because with sinks it's only about the cement, right? They make the frame and they make the cement and they put right on the side of the toilets.
Oh, wow. So, how I don't think you can give us this number, but how many families would you say that Triple Life has helped today?
Woo! That one is I will give you a number, but it's going to be a skewed number because we have almost 17 wells right now, right? And each well is roughly about 3,000 families. 3,000 people, right? About 3,000 people that are being held by just one well. Now, that is a number that it can be higher or it can be lower, depending on where the well is and who can access it. Now, there are areas where they are during the time of the rain season, they are getting water from the open wells. That's like what they used to do, right? But when it comes to the summer, where the water table even goes deeper, there's only one source. That is our bowl. Our bowl is not a bowl that dries in the summer, in the high dry season. It is a bowl that is sustainable water. So that's why we use a great contractor, because they can tell us that when they are drilling a well, they can tell you, okay, we hit water, but that's not sustainable water. Let's not put a pump on it. And then they drill somewhere else. They say, now we hit the vein. This is going to sustain throughout the dry seasons. So now you have more people coming to get water from this well because all the other wells have dried.
Wow. That's very awesome that you're providing these services, because I couldn't imagine myself the amount of water I use each day, and if I can't access water each day, I feel like life would be devastating. And you're providing that to people every day that couldn't do it for themselves, but you took it out. You found it in your heart to provide that for them, even though it was just for your family. Now you're going. It's becoming, I guess, I don't want to say global. I guess you're going all over.
Yes.
Besides, you mentioned obviously the water and then the sinks and the toilets. Is there anything else that you're providing through Drill for Life?
That's really it. So I'll talk about a couple of things, but let me go back to what you said, that I am providing this clean water. I don't want to take the credit.
Right.
The credit is the team behind Drill for Life. I mean, if you talk to these people, if you discuss and if you hear these people, they have a passion for helping people. You understand? And so, and out of that, we have 1, 2, 3. We have only 4 Zimbabweans in our board. The other 4 are not from Zimbabwe. Some of them have not been in Zimbabwe, right? And some of them have never been in Africa, but they still continue to help people that they are never going to meet in their life, right? So I want to give credit to them. All right. So we talked about our bowls or clean water wells and the sinks and toilets. But one thing that I want to really emphasize is the idea that our villagers are able to, to now have gardens, right? That is important to us because that is a source of having food, right? That's a source of food because they did not have that. They used to go far away where there's a dam and then when the dam is dry, they don't have any other access. So now they have access to a source of water that never dries. Now, then the other thing I need to talk about is Drill for Life is also trying to expand into the new technology, if you will. We have partnered with a company here in Columbus that has what is called life pumps. Now, if you know a bowl, it's a bowl that has a bush pump. A bush pump, you go up and down.
Okay.
That is a bush pump. But a life pump is like a bicycle. You are actually pulling like this. You are pushing and you are using 2 hands. A life pump. Now, 2 things. Number 1. With a life pump, we can go deeper, more than 80 meters. And our elderly, our children, when they are pumping the water, it's not hard. But when a bowl goes more than 80 meters and you are using a bush pump, it becomes heavy because the issue is the pump is too long. So now, if you are elderly, you cannot be able to pump easily. Right, so the life pump is now able to do better because the life pump goes down and it's easy to pump out. And then the second advantage of the life pump is that you are able to how much the villagers are using the water. Because you can use an app. The app is able to tell us how much use going. How many pumps did the well do in a given week, in a given month? How much water is left, or what is the amount of level of water that is left on the ground? So that is a live pump where we can manage it from afar.
Wow, that sounds like it's going to be a good addition to everything you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because you also want to see if people are either using the water wisely or if they're wasting.
Absolutely. So that's why before the end of the year we are going to be installing three live pumps in Zimbabwe.
Wow,
that's amazing. So my question is, you have all these projects that are lined up, and yes, you're asking for donations. Are there any opportunities for people to volunteer? Look for for workers, people that are hands-on the ground type situation, or are you hiring people? How is that? If there were people that can't give you cash, but they want to volunteer their time, are they able to do that?
That's a good question. We always look for volunteers. Now, however, we have limited ways of people to volunteer. There is nothing much they can volunteer in Zimbabwe or on the ground because we already have the people that are doing so. But whenever we are having events here in Columbus, we really love to have volunteers. People who come to just help. During the golf tournament, not much volunteers we need, but we do need some volunteers. I think this year we used about between 12 to 15 volunteers. And then during the barbecue event in August, we want probably 25 to 30 volunteers, right? So most of the time, it's when we are having an event, that's when we need volunteers.
Okay. Well, you can always let us know. We can try to help you. Or maybe we can come and help volunteer, or you can
Absolutely.
tell us, and we can see if other people would be interested in helping. You've already mentioned one of your, I guess it's a short-term goal. So now I would like to know, what are your long-term goals for Drill for Life?
Wow. Okay, great question. So our goal is really going to be dependent on the support that we get from you and from everybody else, from our sponsors and from everyone that is a well-wisher of Drill for Life. Our goal is to have more than 100 clean water wells by 2030. And we can do it. If we are able to do at least between 5 to 10 wells every year, we can be able to make it. If we are able to do more than 10 clean water wells, between 5 to 10 wells every 6 months, we can do it, right? If we can be able to just hit at least 20 plus wells every year, we can be able to make it.
Yeah.
Okay. How many have you done this year?
This year we only have done 2 so far. And part of it is not because we don't have the money, because the money for doing wells is there, but the elections, they pull us back. So because we cannot allow our people to go in the villages and talk about, wells, and then they think that we are being political. So
Right.
we had to pull back.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. Where can people contact you when they want to volunteer or when they want to donate? How can people reach you? Where do they find you?
Oh, doctor, that's a great question. Number one, they can reach me through Tino. I'm just kidding.
Guys.
Okay, so I am on social media. If they're on Instagram, they can reach me through Sims Car Detailing. This is my account. And then on Facebook, it's Sim Maswels, SIM, and then MASWELS, Sim Maswels. Or they can go to Drill for Life, DRILL number 4, then life. They can reach out through there. Yeah, they can send a message on Facebook through there. And then I can also give out my phone number. If you ever need my phone number, is 614-678-4393. You can always reach me there as well. And if anything that you need, we are going to be there. We are going to be able to work together to help other people. That's our goal.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. This was very informational. We have everything that we need, and we are going to keep people informed about Drill for Life. As always, we appreciate any guest that always comes on. I know you're giving your time, and you're giving free time, that is. So we are grateful that you took time out of your day today to spend it with us. You're doing great things. You're doing wonderful things, and we appreciate you, and may God continue to bless you. Do you have any final thoughts, anything you want to leave us with before we end our program tonight?
Yes. Now, first of all, I want to say we are servants of our people in the sub-Saharan Africa. And I have to tell you that there's 5 to 10 people that are dying every second, especially children in the sub-Saharan region, right? That don't have access to clean water. They're dying because of waterborne diseases. So if you need any clean water well, if you need any borehole, reach out to us. We are asking you, reach out to us, and then we are going to make sure we go through the process. We are going to do our best. If you qualify to have a borehole, you are going to have it. There's no question about it. So reach out to us. If you know of any villages out there that need clean water, reach out to Drill for Life, and we are going to make sure that they have clean water. We are not politically motivated. We are not affiliated with any politics. We are just Drill for Life that is consistent of people that want to help other people. That's it. Now, that's the number one. Number two, I want to thank you all. For inviting me being here. I really appreciate it. And on behalf of Drill for Life, we want to thank you for the invitation and for all that you do to actually bring all the ladies together. Because I know that women, you really are the heart of all of us. And so thank you for all the discussions that you have here to build each other. Continue doing that. We love you. And thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you. You're so welcome. One final thought. I actually, my mom has a foundation, so does my sister. And they do work with people who are in villages and whatnot. So I will give you that information, and then you guys can figure it out. But as always, guys, to our audience, thank you for the time that you've spent with us. Go ahead and like and share the video. And then also you can follow us on YouTube. We have our own YouTube. So if you missed it, you can catch up on YouTube.